Jesus.
Breeze Nation, what is good?
Jesus.
It's your boy P Kid, man. Listen, we are the conversations we have off camera. Jesus, listen. I hope this is not a live mic when those segments.
Hey, what did we say last time? Pat said, "There's Castellanos with a drive out to deep left field to be a home run."
Oh, Jesus!
All right. Anyway,
as you all can see, no Pat. Pat got the day off. He got the day off. There you go. But you still busy. Got the squad in here.
Yeah.
Got my man JC in the hot seat with me. In the place to be at the main desk. Y'all see that? We getting busy right here. Man. And as always, the man, myth, the legend, super producer Joe Holt with
What's
the
happening?
GM hat going on
What's
right there. You see that? Hey, listen, I want y'all to understand. He made that hat. He got that hat made. Listen, we got some interesting topics for you all today. First and foremost, we got to react to the fact that ESPN they can't get enough of us, baby. It's Chicago, you know what it is. They have us predicted at 10 and 7. So we're gonna talk about the schedule reactions, what ESPN said about that. It's also been a schedule release day over the last 24 hours. So we get to talk about the best and worst of those. There's been some really good ones and some really, really bad ones. Obviously, we got to talk about some playoff talk. We got an elimination game today. That's crazy. We didn't expect this series to go that way.
Nope.
And the Chicago Chi-Town Barbie, the Bayou Barbie, whatever she wants to be called. Beautiful young lady, by the way. But she hoops for us. Angel Reese. We got to talk about her Sky debut right there. You said what?
You doggone right. That's all I got to say.
Hey, you know who's
that's
really
the bottom line.
Because
Meaty said so.
Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy. Hey, boys, let's get into it, man. Hey, ESPN had us at 10 and 7. Now, if you are following our boy Pat on Twitter, he has a hilarious. Hilarious.
I saw that on the train.
Hilarious video. Very much a Homer video.
But he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, though,
like,
bro.
It is a winnable schedule. Like, it's like, I've been accused of being Mr. Bears and all that for like, every year optimistic, we're always going to win. But it's like, no, I hate for it to be like cry wolf. It's like, but this time, nobody really scares you except the 49ers.
True.
And outside of that, all those games are winnable games. Will it be fatigue? Is it injury? Is it all these things that happen? But because that schedule is the third easiest schedule, supposedly.
Yeah.
It gets tough at the end because you got the division opponents. But I'm very optimistic with this.
I am too. I think realistically, I want to say thank you, NFL, because if you really look at our schedule compared to some of these other schedules, we don't even have the toughest games that we have are in the bottom half. Those are all our divisional games, realistically. I think there's a statistic that said that this is one of the few times in NFL history that this happened. The Chicago Bears don't face a really tough defense, nor anyone in their division for the first 10 weeks of the season.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. Usually you kick it off with like last year or the year before we played Green Bay. Yep. To start off, we had all that hype talking about, we're ready for them and this is our time to kind of turn the tide in that face to head-to-head series. But no, now we get a chance to see Caleb, and this is why I think this is probably to our benefit, or I should say to Caleb's benefit, is we get a chance to see him kind of ease his way into the NFL without having to play some of the most challenging games until the back end of the season.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that and I think the wild card of all of it is that we still have we have one of the top defenses in the NFL.
Yep.
So if they're picking up and improving on their pass rush, we're number one in rushing, number one rush defense.
Rush defense last year.
Yep. Towards the end of the year it picked up because we don't know if the earlier numbers probably skew our passing numbers, why we were, 21st, I think, in the past. So I think that the wild card is you don't know what type of offense we're going to put out here because this is not the same Bears team from last year.
It's not. With
all those weapons that we have. So you really could come out the bag on a lot of these teams and surprise them because you just don't know. So outside of I always felt like because we have a rookie quarterback and if he's actually capable, competent, no one's going to know what he does. If he's hot 4 weeks in,
there you go.
No one has any tape on him.
There you go.
And then maybe week 5, week 6, I'm gonna pull the schedule up in a second because then that's kind of where where the offense could be hot. It's September. You know what I'm saying? September is when all the offense is flying. Everybody's the healthiest. October, you start to get beat up a little bit. It starts to get cold mid-November. And December.
Yeah.
Then it's all about defense later on in the year. So,
by the way, salute to the chat. I see y'all in here. Appreciate you all.
Man, shout out to the chat.
Who's number
Chris.
one? Who's number one? Jay
who's first? What are we doing for the first person?
Catfish was number one this time.
No, I got
Catfish.
I got Jay Grizz.
Jay Grizz. I mean, he said Catfish 2289.
At seven. What is it?
This the person's name. I don't know.
I got nothing to get Catfish.
Is at the top.
No, I got Jay Grizz. Anything. It's Crimson. Scooby Palooza.
Crims is always like in competition for the first.
I know. They're always jockeying
first. Hey, listen. Getting back to it though, I honestly, I looked at it again. I'm gonna go 12-5.
Oh,
I'm gonna go 12-5.
You made Joel drop his drink back there. Whatever, he just dropped out like. Are you serious?
I'm gonna go 12-5.
I'm good.
Hey, I'm gonna take the Homer train too, because I ain't gonna lie, I was going 11-6 because I think on here they got us beating. So they grabbed wins on the road at Indianapolis, Washington, Detroit, and Minnesota. I think we could actually grab a road win in Green Bay. That's the unpopular opinion that I'm gonna put out there. Yeah, at home, I think we can win against Green Bay. I'm gonna go out there right now and say we're going to go 2-0 against Green Bay.
And you know what? See,
that's my bold prediction.
This is my
listen.
Hey, I'm sure everybody would love it. It could happen.
Oh, wait, listen. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
But
I was the one drinking.
Hear me out. Again, this goes back to if Caleb Williams is what we think he is, and is what everybody thinks he is. If he gets into week 11, which I believe is the first time we play Green Bay, right? I believe it's week 11.
Yep.
If we play Green Bay and he's already acclimated to the game, he's already in cohesion with DJ and Keenan and Rome and Tyler Vallis, whoever, Cole, Gerald, and DeAndre. I mean, this should be a well-oiled machine by the half point mark. Like we should be seeing a really special player.
Yeah.
So I don't see why we can't be prepared more than we were before back then in years past going against our arch rivals.
It's not the fact that we won't be prepared for me.
No, we weren't prepared last time.
No, that's true.
We acted like we were prepared. Everybody was like, oh, week 1, Green Bay Bears about to eviscerate them.
Don't get me wrong. That's real, right? But they're a good team.
They are, and they got better.
Them by themselves,
I'll admit they got better. They got
so
better.
When you have that situation there, I'm looking at this like I believe that they have the potential to be better. I think that what we saw late season for them, that's not a fluke. If we're going to give ourselves credit for what we did late season, we have to definitely give them credit for what they did late season. Jordan Love started out that season kind of poor. I remember I found alive. It was like week 7. Pat was up here like, yeah, Jordan Love don't look that good. By the time the season ended, Pat was like,
real good.
Jordan Love looked pretty good.
Well, I'd like to take a little bit of credit that I also said, hey, by the way, I wouldn't just dump on this guy. He could.
You did say that.
I was because my point was
you did.
I never want to position like we sound like straight homers. Like we have to be unbiased. As even though we are Chicago, we bleed blue and orange. But it's like the reality is it's the reality.
Now,
so
if you actually bleed blue and orange,
I was going to say my blood's red, Joe. My blood's red, Joe.
I just want to say no. Not
I eat 5 steaks a day. My blood's red, Joe.
Everybody else, if you actually bleed blue and orange, go to the hospital.
Please go to the nearest Chicago hospital.
But we appreciate you. I mean, give us at it.
I'm keeping the camera on me now. That's what I'm going to do.
Guys, you gonna hate on? Okay, whatever. Roll the credits.
He likes the way he looks with the GM hat, the blue and orange GM hat.
Okay, shout out to AC Adams. Exactly. Stop being scared of them. That's the mental hurdle that they have to get over in the first place. What I want is that I don't want it that, San Francisco, automatic loss. It's no. Are we finally the bullies on the block? Will we become that team that if we mature and grow to that squad, we can go against anybody? Like every game, you have a chance to win. Now, I prefer that we can win most of our games. But it used to be what? Every time if you penciled in the schedules and looked at it, you were almost penciling a loss. Kansas City last year, loss.
Listen, if we played them this season, it's a loss.
No, see, no. That's the point.
I agree. That mentality has got to go.
Why?
I'm not gonna lie. You're right, Joe.
Like
I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's what I'm saying.
That mentality has to go, PK. We can't just say, "Oh, they're automatically going to lose."
And that's my point.
We can't say that
because we don't know what this offense.
It's a new era.
Because this
it's
offense,
a new day.
The difference is we want the offense to be capable enough that if the defense is as strong as it is, that it's not killing us. The offense's job is to either, I was talking to Pat earlier, right? What we want is that, we'll go up 3 touchdowns and then all of a sudden we just take our foot off the brake. We were up with 35 points against Detroit and they let them come back into the game because you either got scared because you couldn't run the ball or you got scared because you couldn't make the right throws because when it was crunch time, the quarterback couldn't make the throw or the coordinator couldn't make the right call that we needed. So the defense is always out there because you're doing 3 and outs. It's like the mentality has to change, and hopefully that happens with this squad.
The interesting thing is, most of the league agrees with you, though. Most of the league is talking about us in this positive light because they believe that we are going to make the leap, and clearly we believe that as well.
Roll the credits on us.
Hey, Jay Grizz.
Exactly.
What are you talking about, Jay Grizz?
On you real quick. That's what we're gonna try fire on him.
What is your prediction, Jay Grizz? What's your prediction for the season? Is my question.
I'm rolling with Jay Grizz on this one.
Of course you are. Everything that's agreeable with Joe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right.
Anything. He's a madman back there.
Jay Grizz is my kind of guy.
I got you. Don't
hey,
worry
that's
about
okay.
it. It's okay. It's okay.
My biggest thing too with this is that I just feel like, again, going back to your point, Joe, it's now time to kind of get out of that, like that PTSD mode. Like we think, oh, we don't have the team to do this. So there's certain teams that we just got to bow down to or just crumble. And, no, later for that. The new era, new thinking, new mentality, new talent on this team from top to bottom. Offense, defense, and don't forget special teams. Tory Taylor, just gonna mention that all the time. Shout out to Pat, big Tory Taylor playing action. Tory Taylor, baby.
He's like, LeCrin's like, but Getsy isn't here to start the 4-minute drill at halftime.
Oh my God!
Exactly, like it's
Gutless Getsy.
I like V-Dog's question. He says, question for y'all, based on what I asked between the Seahawks and Rams, which offense that Shane ran is more suitable for the roster we have? This is the West Coast system. Well, it is the same. It's the what's the name? It's the McVay tree. It's the form of that type of offense. It's the whatever the Packers are running. We're all running that. We're supposed. That's what we're supposed to have been running.
Yeah, right.
We're supposed to have been running that offense.
I'll take it.
So I stop hating on my hat, dog.
Hey, the simple fact that we feel more confident in what he can bring to the table. We actually have proof of what he can do. Just let you know that we're going to be better overall. Like, again, you did not skimp out and try to take the risk of hiring some new guy. You finally got somebody proven in there. We were 7-10, right? 7-10 last season.
Yeah.
I expect us to pick up 3 to 4 games with better talent. And
at the least,
coaching. I expect it. I absolutely expect it. So I'm happy. Listen, I'm happy that the national media is still rocking with the Bears because we crapped the bed last year.
We did.
The way they talked about us and how we were going to take the North last season, the way we rolled out.
Yeah.
Woo. Listen, you talk about rolling some credits. You roll the credits on that squad right there, and look at what Poles was able to do. So happy to see that. We'll keep it moving, man. We got a couple other topics going to hit real quick. I wanted to get to this one because, believe it or not, I absolutely love the schedule release videos.
Yes.
They make me laugh. I crack up.
There's some fire ones out there.
There's some fire ones out here.
Wait, are we ready to move on that quick? I thought we were going to kind of break down our matchup favorites and stuff.
I thought that was another topic altogether. But I mean,
it was the reactions and then what we think were pivotal matches. By the way, we got 100 in the chat.
100 in the chat.
Honda. Get them likes up.
Hey, Joe, you're absolutely right.
Let's do it.
Let's do this real quick. What's your favorite matchup?
Goddamn thing up.
What's your favorite matchup?
Joe, what do you like?
How do you like it?
Well, I'm thinking right now. So you guys go over there while I do take care of
I'll
this.
tell you what. I'll just outright say I love a specific matchup for a number of reasons. It's going to be the Houston Texans in week 2 at Houston. I think this will be probably Caleb's first real challenge once we probably beat who was in week 1. My goodness, why am I drawing a blank? The Titans. Thank you. Will Levis is He's not that guy. Okay, I know you like him. He's not that guy. Okay, you're not that
You don't
guy,
even
pal.
know.
You're not that guy.
You don't even know
All
yet.
I'm saying is Caleb's going to do what Caleb's going to do, and he's going to build confidence off of week 1. But week 2, I think Houston with the string of wide receivers that they have now, they got Diggs, they got Tank Dell, they got Nico Collins. I mean, that wide receiver core. I can't remember what number you put them at, Joe, when we were going over the best wide receiving cores in the league, but
I couldn't find the cool one.
Okay,
I couldn't find the cool one
with the classroom.
Yeah, I couldn't find that one.
Hey,
so
that one's actually cold, where they got all of them sitting there. Yeah.
Shout out to them.
But yeah, no, week 2, going back to that point, I think the Bears were I think they were above Houston as far as best wide receiver core, or was Houston number 1?
they had them number 1.
Yeah, they had Houston number 1,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now that I remember it, okay. So that right there is the matchup I'm looking at. The best of the wide receivers. I'm looking at the quarterback. I'm trying to see if CJ Stroud will repeat what he did last year. Is he really as good as we say he is? Because now that, even like what Joe said, they get tape on him. Is he going to, get past those hurdles of whatever the defense is going to throw at him? Now they see his game, they see his weaknesses, they see his tendencies. Is he going to build off of that and be better than last year, or at least stay on target with, what we think he can be? And then, of course, the defense. Will Anderson was a really underrated defensive player his rookie season, put up some good stats, but now he's got Danielle Hunter on the other side. That's a nasty tandem. I would like to see us probably, I think maybe Poles still goes out and gets somebody to address the other side of that line with Montez. So there's like a really good amount of individual matchups, whether it be the line, the quarterback, or the receivers, that I want to see and how that plays out in week 2.
Yeah, I'm not that is the most intriguing game for at least the first
What, 9 weeks for the first, because everything else is weak.
Hey, it was dramatic pause.
Yeah,
for the first
I'm like,
all season. All season.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump in here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I like the beginning of the season because there's a narrative. Now, if you all don't believe that the NFL doesn't believe in narratives, you're fooled. This is a storyline. This is wrestling. They just actually get paid more money. All right, listen. There may or may not be some finagling.
Calvin would love to hear you say that. You believe in wrestling now?
I believe in wrestling. I believe that it's choreographed, but there are some variances. You could end up. I do believe that.
Okay.
So check this out. Here's the narrative. Titans quarterback you could have took, but you kept Fields.
And Will Levis?
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Good God. What is with you?
Nope. Here we go.
It's your take. It's your take. You're right.
Nope,
You got
I'm sticking with it. Young quarterback. Yeah, I'm sticking with it. Hey, listen. They know it. When you see this glass go like this, it's about to be a day, baby.
Oh, God.
Wait a minute. It's
The
about
views
to be a day.
expressed by those
Hold
of
on.
P. Kid are not those expressed
Water,
by the
or
Windy
is that?
City Breeze.
What is that? What do you got over there?
Oh no! Listen, this is
All right. Okay. All right.
this is like caffeinated water that I cut with vodka. Anyway, so put that in your cup and drink it. Anyway, next one, Texans quarterback you should have took, but you kept Fields.
Okay. All right.
Colts quarterback you should have took, but you kept Fields.
Hey, well, Anthony, come on. I like Anthony.
Nobody
but
was
come
on that. No.
Come on.
They were
Threw
picking
the ball
they
through
were
the
picking
roof. Like,
fourth
anyway,
or fifth.
Time out. Here you go. We all said that Fields was going to be Cam 2.0.
No,
Well,
we
guess
didn't
what?
say that.
Yeah, you did.
I was saying.
I ain't gonna lie, I
said
thought he
Lamar-
would be too.
I said Lamar Jackson light as terms of
Not even close.
no, because Cam outside of that 4,000 yard passing season, that joker was a bowling ball knocking jokers over.
Yeah.
I didn't want Justin Fields doing that. I wanted him to extend and kind of use his legs to extend the play.
Justin's bigger than Lamar. That's why I was
He
going
is.
more
He's
Cam than
6'3",
anything.
yeah.
Plus, he was tutored by Cam.
But we moving. Why does that got to do with Justin? No,
You
brought it up.
Listen.
No.
I
You
brought it up. Hey,
I did
listen,
not.
listen. So now it's like,
got nothing
hey,
to do with
your new quarterback, your new shiny object that you rolled through here. Now, listen, I love Caleb. I think Caleb's a better quarterback than all of them, or can be. But it's just like, hey, he's got to face all these young quarterbacks that were recently drafted that were all part of the conversation from the previous quarterback that we had.
No,
all I'm
it's
saying
not.
is, yeah,
Where?
I am moving forward, Joe. Anyway, listen. Rams.
All the year
Rams is just Rams. Hey, Matthew Stafford is just like a come to Jesus moment. I don't know what it is about him, but he seems to cook and fall off the hill at the same time. Panthers.
That's true.
Panthers.
I ain't worried about
Quarterback
that.
you could have took,
Come
but you
on.
kept Fields.
Don't you even
No.
start with Bryce Young.
Time out.
Oh
my-
my! With that bad. take.
Trouble Lords. Sunshine.
I'm sorry, I have
Hey,
to be a
hey.
part of these rolled credits because
Yeah, I'm
rolled
about to
credits.
put
Oh, roll the credit. No, hold on. You roll the credits on me.
Panda
You rolled the Predator on me, it's gonna be a day.
God,
I'm gonna put
man,
cases on you.
are
You gonna be DJing in Pelicans. You better stop playing. You better stop
Shoot
playing
program.
with me. Shoot program, Joe. You better stop playing with me. Anyway, all I'm saying is, no, realistically, all jokes aside, I just want to see how he competes. The QB battle to me from the young QBs is always what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Whether we make it a topic or not, if Caleb goes against one of these QBs and has a bad game, the topic the next day is going to be, look how he looked against such and such.
Well, kid, that's
what we do.
But that's just what we do. To say that it's
the
the Houston defense, the Indianapolis defense.
That's
it's the
not
Rams
what
defense.
we do.
I understand that, but the point is that Caleb. I mean, first of all, these quarterbacks against our defense.
Great.
Bryce Young. Not actually tell you. No, we played the Panthers on a Thursday night, right? Wasn't it Thursday night? And it was that we barely got out of that game.
Yeah.
So, and they have tape on this defense. I don't think they're necessarily going to win, but we should see some. I mean, my point is our defense is better that they have to face these guys. We have a better chance of winning. And if our quarterback is able to just sustain plays, if not become, hopefully what we wanted to become, a great and also
immortal.
I'm with you. Hey, listen, we're on the same side. We're on the same page. It is literally a different perspective that is also running congruently with you. Like I'm agreeing with you, right? It is our defense versus their quarterback. Mm-hmm. But if their quarterback has a day against our defense,
right,
and our quarterback doesn't have a day against their defense,
correct,
and our defense is supposed to be better,
something.
Right?
That is
I'm just saying,
and he practices
against the narrative properly. It's the
and he practices against our defense, and we supposed to have the number one defense. They're gonna be like, oh,
that's a good point.
He came up short. Hold on now.
That.
He should have been prepared for this one.
I give you that.
Right? That's the narrative. That's what happened. So I'm looking at this schedule, and I looked at all the young quarterbacks he has to face or duel. Again, he has to be in competition with
everybody. And everybody's young except Jared Goff on this. Everybody.
And Stafford
and
Stafford.
Oh, Stafford's the oldest. Jared Goff and Seahawks. Gino. Everybody else.
Even Kyler's like mid. Well, Kyler's kind of a vet now, but he's not old.
He's
not
like
old.
What, 27?
Yeah. He's prime.
Everybody's young.
But the narrative only becomes a narrative because these are quarterbacks that we actually could have attained.
I actually agree with that. I do kind of like when you're looking at this schedule now. There is a lot of 1 year and 2 year quarterbacks that you question. Well, could they have already been on the team, or how would they fare against Caleb? Even though we know nobody else was going to get taken with the number one pick.
Yeah,
but it's a good analysis to see. Okay, how does he fare against these teams? Because even week 8, Jaden Daniels, Patriots. Week 10, Drake May. Going back to Jordan Love, then maybe JJ McCarthy. Even though we're saying Sam Darnold's going to start,
we're supposed to steamroll them.
I hope
Vikings.
I hope to see Sam Darnold start.
Vikings. I got us 2-0 against Vikings. We're supposed to steamroll them. But if JJ comes out there cooking,
he's got some weapons.
I don't know.
And we don't show up against, and we don't show up.
Yeah, but
even if we are technically better, it's just the narrative. The narrative is going to be loud.
I keep saying this: the cover 2 defense beats bad to average quarterbacks.
Well,
great quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers will kill cover 2.
Yeah.
Tom Brady can figure out and beat the cover 2. Unless we're playing like a top 5 quarterback, it is very hard to beat this cover 2 defense if we have all the pieces in place. And I see a lot of inexperienced young quarterbacks. That's why Stafford, he could be a problem. Outside of that, the way this schedule is set up right now, the Bears should be in a great position for the first half of the season because it could be a little tough come the second half of the season. Detroit is going to come out here and they're going to fight. San Francisco is going to be a tough one. The Lions games and the Packers games are the only ones I'm really worried about in San Francisco. All these other games are winnable games. And now you got a Thursday night, so you got Sunday. You got a Sunday night and a quick turnaround for the Lions going against the Seahawks. That could be a tough game because that's usually hard for teams on that Thursday night, especially coming off a Sunday game.
Yeah, it's almost like the tale of two halves. I really do like this because it's almost like saying, here, we're going to give you a ton of wins in the beginning. Then we'll give you a break in week 7 and then come back. You gotta prove yourself. Yeah. Like if you want to get to the playoffs, you got to prove yourself by going into the division, winning the games that you need to win, going up against teams that, are formidable. But again, like I said, there's no team that talent-wise we should be scared of. Even San Francisco. I'm sorry, I'm not sold on thinking that we're just going to walk, into San Francisco and lose automatically. Every win, every week is a may win. I might win. So
and I'm with you on that one.
Well, the
110%.
only real true test is a Packers game and the 49ers game.
I think that's a mental thing.
Whoa,
Yeah.
No, one of the if at home, like it's hard to go to Green Bay and win in Green Bay.
It is.
Actually, but they have won in Green Bay like once every blue moon.
Yeah, it's a mental.
You gotta win at home. That's
a consolation between us.
But you can't. You gotta
that's
win
for
at
the
home.
fans. The real test is we got to beat the King of the North, which is Detroit.
Yeah, but we've done that.
We got to beat
We've
them.
split the games with them, and we should have beat them the other game.
Yeah,
you can beat this team.
Hey,
we got that number.
Yeah, we could. Hold on. That was last season. Let's just call a spade a spade.
We've had the number
was
for most seasons.
That was last season.
We've had the
Jared
number for
Goff
most seasons.
throws turnovers.
That was last
Again,
season.
the cover two will beat bad quarterbacks.
I get you.
Like when Lovey was here, for the most part, you can look on the record and see who the games we lost to. We usually lost to Drew Brees, we lost to Peyton Manning, we lost to the greats. And then we used to beat Brett Favre, who used to throw the ball away all the time. And then when Aaron Rodgers came, he could not beat him. He could not stop Aaron Rodgers. So I've seen this defense where it works. Now I don't know if we have a Tampa, like we don't have a Warren Sapp in those guys type defense that was shutting everybody down, barely scoring 10
Brooks
points a game.
Yeah.
But we're probably in the middle.
Here goes Don Burr. Jesus. Don
Burr
Burr
is back in the check with the Lions. Here we go.
What's going on, Don? Now, I will say this. This is in all sincerity. I know, like, listen, I know some people are going to sit there like, oh, you always want to cap for these mid quarterbacks. It's not, I'm not capping for mid quarterbacks.
Yeah, you cap for mid quarterbbacks.
I mean, listen,
I've
been right. Jared Goff got a $212 million extension, $100-something million guaranteed. If he was
how they get
right,
money.
he's just there. He's good enough to get it. That's all.
Yeah, he's the best QB in the division.
One game away from
Jay
the Super Bowl.
Cutler
from last year.
Jay Cutler was the highest paid quarterback at the time because of the market.
No, dog, right now he's the best quarterback in the division.
No, he's the highest paid in the division.
No, he's the best quarterback in the division.
Oh, in the division?
He's the best quarterback in the division.
I'll give him his respect.
Right? Like, unless Caleb has a CJ Stroud season, he's the best quarterback in the division.
It's not permanent. I'll say
that. No, it's not.
It's not permanent.
They signed him for another 4 years.
Placeholder right now.
For Jared, for another 4 years. Yeah, that ain't gonna hold up.
I love it.
I love
it. They signed it for 4 years.
I got Jared for the next 2. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
Listen,
I got Caleb for the next 20.
That's what I'm talking about. I think for the next 2. I think for the next 2.
Hey, you want to be Tom
Brady?
Brady?
All right, Jared might be the best QB in the division, but then it's gonna be like, all right, clearly Caleb. I think he's gonna have
the
that type
seat
of
will be. He's holding the seat for now.
The games that get me are the games after the 2 games after the Panthers. The Jaguars, obviously, we know where that's gonna be at. In the Commanders, I think we mentioned this one. And the only reason it gets me is this: I know Pat hates sunshine. That man has hey, listen, he calls him mid. No one even mentions him. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Right? Listen, like no one talks about, and he's right. No one talks about him.
Yeah. He gets a pass.
He's good enough to beat.
Well, I mean, that's not really saying much. What? Any quarterback, any team is good enough to beat you on any given Sunday. That's why they call it that.
Well, look.
No, if that's true, then why do you think Will Levis is gonna fail week 1?
Exactly.
Exactly.
You're right. Hey, I swear to God, if we go on one, I'm buying you a drink because I cannot.
I think we're gonna win.
I cannot see.
I think we're gonna win. But you just said any given Sunday. You're right. Will Levis is week 1. Hey, Will can win.
I mean, Joe just gave us a good example. We were up how many points to the Lions and we still 35. Lost because coaching trailed back on being aggressive. Like and any given Sunday. No. That game we had wrapped up. We had Justin Fields dancing,
but he came back.
Jared Goff had like 4 interceptions.
He did.
Yeah, so Jared Goff had a lot of turnovers.
They closed out. That's what I'm saying.
No, that was strictly on the Bears.
We
lost it. We lost.
They screwed the pooch.
We lost it. Excuse me. But the reason those are the games where we're going to be like, you should win, and if you don't win, how does that handle
exactly
those? That's the trap for me. The emotional roller coaster
there you go
is what I'm looking at.
That's a good point.
Can the rookie handle the emotional turmoil of hey, all right, maybe it's just a bad game. Like this, you're bound to have a bad game. but can you handle that and it not carry over into the next one?
But
That's the only thing I'm concerned. I'm not concerned about in his talent, what he could do. Emotionally, can he handle it? That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Well, he doesn't. He's not. He's new. He's setting. Look, I love Caleb's mindset. He's coming in like all that doesn't mean anything. Ryan Poles is like, I came here to break this cycle.
Yeah.
We're not here for all that. You guys want us to do the doom and gloom. It's like the Cubs. Oh, the Cubs been losing for 100 years. Theo Epstein says, no, we came to win. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. So that's all fine and dandy. That's under the last year. This year's different.
Absolutely.
But in my opinion, what we don't know is, does Caleb take, if he's good, which we expect him to be, does he take a step where it's like, no, it's his team. Because it's going to be his team. It's when does it make it his team?
Like when it's obvious.
Like when Patrick Mahomes came in, we got the rookie, he took over for the squad, and it became very clear it was Patrick Mahomes' team after so many weeks or what have you. Like we got to start. Huh?
It's like a Steph Curry analogy.
Well, yeah, like
Draymond said that for a while. Yeah. Steph wasn't the guy, but like after KD, he was the guy, and they won that shit.
Why is this?
Just make it a basketball.
No. It's not you. I'm just mad at this camera. Keep going. Carry on.
All right, carrying on right there. Listen. We got those predictions out the way. Appreciate you all tuning in. Now we get the transition into some of the best and worst videos of the release. And by the way, I just want you all to know the reason why this is important to me is because if you all have been watching us, we're trying to build out a team. So eventually we're going to be doing media releases. We're going to need a media team and everything like that, because that's what we're aspiring to do. So I love to see the creativity these organizations put together and how they put this forth and how they make something as mundane as just telling us when you're going to play. Exciting.
Turn it into fun. Yeah.
Like, nobody else makes it a thing like the NFL makes it a thing.
Yeah.
And so best and worst, I know I've had a chance to look at most of them because I was on this long train ride for, oh God, I don't even want to talk about it. I got to say this, and I hate this team. I think the Eagles had one of the best schedule releases. It was funny. I actually laughed out loud on a train and full of strangers. Like they really came with it. like
this guy going.
I really laughed out. Like in the
Wait, did you have earbuds in your ear?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you didn't look crazy.
I was in a quiet car in the metro too.
Okay,
so you really ain't supposed to be talking. Yeah, it was supposed to. I was rolling. I think they really brought it. So like from the
man cackled.
There you go. I cackled. That looked extra dark. That looked demonic there. What's going on? Listen, I got a tail sticking out right here. What the heck is going on here?
Oh, you
what
do.
What the heck is that?
Pettiest man alive is now the darkest.
Listen. All right, time to pour another one. All right, here we go. There, listen. Diddly. Oh, he just cut off from. Anyway, I love the Eagles. I actually love that the Chargers always bring it.
Yeah,
that was fun. They had a Sims. They had the Sims joint. I thought the Sims joint was good. The low key references they made. Chargers really did go hard.
Yeah. I'm going Chargers and Bears. I mean, I don't want to sound biased, but I really do like the whole Ferris Bueller day off theme with the Bears. I will say this, man, DJ Moore, stick to your day job because, man, that acting was a little bad. School. Yeah. That man's acting was he could have smiled a little bit more, but you already know who's the best actor in all of it. Spice Adams always acts like a fool when he wants to. So him being the D, he's like, "You're late for class. Get to class." That was hilarious. I like the fact that they implemented him, and then they had my boy who he had the XFL jersey on. Oh, he's the one that's in a lot of funny. He's a comedian actually from Chicago. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but they had him in there. And Kyler was like, "What are you doing in this class? You're not even supposed to be here." Right. I love the Tevin Jenkins bye week where they was like, "Where's Tevin?" He's in a random stadium by himself. So now, that was cool.
That was kind of like eerie because like I would hate for us to be like, "Where's Tevin?" and because he's injured and he's all by himself.
That's like a double meaning.
Dog,
like he's out because he's not on the field.
When's the bye week again? When's the bye week again?
7.
This man better be healthy.
We can get
listen, he better be on the field week 8. If you said week 7?
Week 7.
He better be on the field week 8. I can't tell you that much because Jesus.
Oh my God, yeah. Now you just gave me PTSD with that.
I know Joe ain't watching, so I ain't gonna even ask him.
Did you check out the Bears one?
I didn't have the Bears? Yeah, I saw it yesterday with Pat.
I hated that.
Oh, you thought I didn't see the Bears one? I don't know. I was thinking Chargers.
I thought we could have came harder with it.
It was okay.
It was.
You know, I mean,
I think the acting
it was
could have
like,
been better.
You know, look at those low rates.
Yeah, it's one. But we do remember that commercial because that's like
true.
what, the 20-year-old commercial.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, like, I think that overall it was creative. You got some people in there. I wonder why Keenan Allen wasn't a part of it.
Because Keenan Allen ain't been here, dog.
DeAndre Swift was in there. They said, "Oh, look at the cool guy." Who else was in there?
Keenan Allen has somewhere to be.
And then my guy Toy Taylor, you know, big punt action. I don't know why Toy wasn't there. I'm gonna need Toy Taylor to get a little film time.
I mean, you're writing out a script and a story, so there's only so much you probably can do when you're doing that type of stuff.
Hey, man, have him walk past in the class or something. Throw a food fight or something.
It's probably
who's there, who's in town, who stays here.
Yeah,
we don't know. You know, I mean, if Keenan Allen, he's probably moving from California.
From Cali,
to Chicago.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
You got to go through all that type of stuff.
I will say the second. This is an honorable mention mainly because my love for Nipsey Hussle. I think
true.
The Rams. That's how you release a schedule. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was. I know. If you all haven't looked at it, go look at it. This is all about the media teams at this point, realistically, because we're a media company. We're building that. Anyway, moving forward, because we ain't gonna spend too much time on that one. I mean, good Lord, there's only so many times we can talk about schedules that ain't ours, because we don't care. Moving forward, we get to go into a little bit of NBA playoffs.
NBA playoffs, man, it's a pivotal game.
All right, Joe, did you watch the game?
Uh-oh.
And all right,
Silencio.
I did.
What game you watch?
I watched a little bit of. Well, first, I have.
You know you had the power.
Yeah, you watch the game.
I did.
Watch no goddamn game.
I saw Jokic cooking. I saw the Sunday night game where he was cooking.
Did you?
Minnesota.
So the last game,
It's Thursday.
it was
dog.
112 to 97.
Saying that I was at
It's
Pepe's and hanging out, and I saw the beginning of the game, and then afterwards I got busy and then I fell
I
asleep.
feel you. I feel
Okay.
you. Hey, you know, Boston played this week too.
They did.
I think they won their series.
This man, yeah, they just 4-1. Hey, listen, 120 in the chat. No one's 37 likes. Listen,
Oh,
stop
get
it.
the likes up.
Stop it. I will play. I would go back to the old Kevin. What's that? Kevin Samuels used to play the old music. He used to play like a Dow.
Oh,
That means
yeah,
you play
yeah.
that
I'll play that too. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I do that.
Shout
I
out
do
to
that.
Kevin Samuels, man. I miss him.
Shout out to
man.
that man. Listen,
I miss
great
him.
content right there. But anyway,
Great.
the Wolves are playing tonight. The Wolves are playing Denver. Denver was down 2-0. Now they're up 3-1.
Jesus.
Talk about a comeback. Kind of reminds me of JC when he finally gets to win in Monopoly. Woo, there you go. I'm on fire, baby.
Hey, let me
Drop
tell you
5
something.
on him.
Let me tell you something.
And since Pat's not
Tonight-
here, you can't get the rematch.
No. Pat said he might. Wait, is he coming? Is he
Yeah,
coming
he
later?
said-
He
he
might
said
come
he
later.
might.
If
He
it's
might.
still,
Hey,
if
Joe
it's
said he ain't
4
playing.
people on the table, I'm
Joe
gonna
said
tell
he's
you,
not playing.
Joe, you're not playing, Joe?
Who said that? I said
Dang, Joe's supposed to
Yeah,
rock
well,
with
there
me.
you go.
Yeah,
La. All I gotta say is I'm on a 1-game win streak, which is not really a streak, but
It's not a streak.
I'm going to 2-game win streak start tonight, people.
First
all
of all,
right.
can we set the record straight?
Usually
I
win.
murdered, and then it was a mercy rule that we had
You
to
won.
quit, and then we played again, and
And
that's
then
how you got the
I
greatest
murdered.
game
Time
I've
out,
ever
Joe.
That's
seen.
right. I
ever.
murdered.
See, Joe, this is why we can't. I be trying to give you credit, give you
Uh-oh.
props.
Oh no!
What
Here he
happened
come with
was-
him. Eddie
What
man. Here we
happened
go.
was, what
I
happened
knew this was gonna
was,
come back.
I was winning with you. We were like neck and
And
neck.
I
I looked at Jordan and was like, "Do you want to play? Let's just start over."
I was ready
So
to
what he's
bleed
saying
all
is
you guys
he-
out.
What
I
is
was
this?
going
I
to
showed
gut
you
I was
mercy
going
at
to
your
gut
table.
you and bleed you out.
I showed you mercy
Jesus.
at your table. We're losing followers. We're losing viewers. Let's talk about Monopoly anyway.
Oh, we lost
Uh,
20 people. No, it's NBA. I told you.
Yeah, it is what it is. We got a closeout game now. This is the one thing I will say. This is a great experience for Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's a learning
it's a
yeah,
great experience. And this is the one thing I will say that this is why I wanted the Bulls to at least make the playoffs, because guess what?
Mhm.
Young players, when you finally get that experience, this either is make or break. It's either you're going to be angry enough to say, I got to get back here and I want to win, or you can tuck tail and just say, I got the check. Anthony Edwards is saying all the right things, but you can look at that boy's face and say he is pissed.
Yeah.
Right. And he has no help. He really has no help outside of, I mean, when Mike Conley goes down, that offense doesn't flow the same way. They need another primary scorer.
Yeah.
Cat is too inconsistent. And so this all boils down to we can see how a good team, even with a superstar player, kind of depends on how you build that team. You still need help.
I would say this: what happened is you woke the bear, the sleeping bear. You know what I'm saying? You poked the bear because Jokic, Barkley was like, "Oh, they're gonna sweep him. It's a wrap. It's over." And what you saw was elite talent rise to the occasion. And some of this is not just Gobert, but it's coaching too. Like, how do you put your players in the right position to offset this?
Yeah.
I was over here. I was listening to, like, Gilbert and Gil's Arena and them, and they were breaking down, like, their thing is Gobert is a good off-ball defender. He's not a great on-ball defender. So he's winning those defensive players of the years because he can come off, cheat, make the shots, but when you stick to somebody one-on-one, no, he's not that great. So the key is, how do you put him in a position to keep him where you're able to outcoach that? Or that's where it comes down to.
And that's Nas Reed. Nas Reed is a better on-ball defender on Jokic than Rudy. So what I would do is take Rudy off of Jokic, let Nas play him, and then him be the help defender. But I feel like they haven't made the right adjustment to kind of answer Denver's run, and that's where I think the inexperience comes with, like you mentioned, Anthony kind of having the highs and lows in this overall in the playoffs, like beating his one of his probably somebody he looked up to in KD, and now kind of winning the first two and pumping his chest and going back home, and now you're down 3-2 just out of nowhere. I feel like this is a good learning lesson for him and Cat. Cat needs to. I don't know what's going on with Cat. His numbers say he had a good game, but I feel like Cat sometimes kind of goes in and out of playing the way he should play.
To me, and I like how Baki, you still in my thunder here, man. Shut up. Jokic is showing you why he's MVP.
Absolutely.
And at first, I thought SGA got robbed. He didn't get robbed. Jokic is showing you why he's MVP.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, when they need a bucket, when they needed him to take over, what did he do for 3 games straight? Okay, yeah, I do it.
Yep.
Boom, this is what you do.
Yep.
And that's with the double team, without the double team. Everyone else has stepped up around him too. And I think how this all relates back to, obviously, a team that we rep, the Chicago Bulls here, is roster construction matters. How you complement your star players. First of all, having star players, you got to have all-star players.
Let's get
that done first, right? But now, how you build your organization to complement them. Rudy Gobert is not the problem here. Rudy Gobert is just going against that one person who has his number. He's been good all season, right? That trade wasn't a bad trade. I know people can go that way. The real issue is Cat.
Yeah.
Cat's not showing up the way he needs to. Your number 2 was not being your number 2 when it comes to those situations. So
But Cat's been Cat the whole time. That's always been a knock on him. I've never really had the respect for him because he's been a number 1 pick, and he's always been the guy that wants to be a number 2. It's kind of in the Anthony Davis kind of class.
It's like the team they used to have with him and I feel like when it was Wiggins, Levine, and Cat, all those guys to me scream talent, but the number 2 guy on the best team on a championship team. Like, they have immense talent, but it's something in them that just they don't have the fortitude to be that guy that can take a team that far.
He's too unorthodox.
Yeah.
He's way too unorthodox.
Yeah.
The way he moves, the way he flails and stuff like that. Like, the way he does all that.
It's funny you say that because Jokic does the same thing. Jokic acts like he's all over the place, but he
got a better skill set.
He's not going to get on. He's not going to get on the pantheon of the big men.
Here. Yeah, he ain't getting up there.
He's not Eddie Curry. He's not Eddie Curry. Where's Eddie at for Pat the designer? He was right there.
Don't worry about it. He's going to be back there.
I might find him. Let me see if he's around.
Crimson said,
"You got to piss Pat
off." Crimson said, "I miss when basketball was a team sport." I like that comment for a lot of reasons that we can't get into. That's actually going to be a topic I talk about on my channel, PK Talks.
Hey,
don't
check
worry
that
about
out.
It.
Well, you know why? Because they took away, the aspect of the Shaqs of the world because they want to speed up the game and go to the Euro stuff. Now you can't sit in the paint, and they're making these guys shoot 3-pointers all day. It's like it's all about just jacking shots up.
You know what? Here's another point that you already mentioned though that I do want to touch on is Mike Conley. I feel like that type of point guard is undervalued in this type of game nowadays. We talk. Let's just quickly but very small dose. Go back to the Bulls real quick when they were their best before. Who was on the court? Lonzo Ball. He didn't have to score 40 points, but the man knew how to facilitate. He always got the run started. He knows when to pass, how to pass, like to set people up. He can make the three. That's exactly what Conley is. You need somebody that can calm the troops. You don't have to be the most amazing player, but a guy that just knows when and how to
a traditional
make the team better.
That's why I loved Rondo. Rondo was one of my favorite point guards, period. But injuries and things that didn't work out. He impacted the game so much. Ooh. Like when he was here, he was kind of like baby Chris Paul because he gets hurt and then we go down the tubes.
That's it.
But he was such an impactful point guard. Like I missed that. So to your point, if to get back to just consistent basketball. I mean, today's game is all about shooting up and down the court and spreading the floor and hitting threes and all that stuff. And those do count. I mean, threes are worth more than two. We understand
for
that.
sure.
And if you score more threes than 2-pointers, you're going to score more points. So we get that. And it's good to get outside shooting. But what I see when I watch my squad, the Bulls, it's like I see a guy, everybody spread out. My gigantic power forward center guy and wants to hit threes, and there's nobody to rebound. But then I got the greatest rebounder sitting here. Oh, but we don't want him in the game because he can't play defense. It's well, I'm just tired of it. So
and it's the funny thing is, I think, and I hope the trend for the point guard, the traditional point guard, comes back. Because we seem to value the high scoring output, but we don't like to emphasize the fact that if you have 10 assists, you contributed 20 points.
Absolutely.
Or even more, considering
that's why Jokic had 40. What was it, 40?
7 and 13. Yeah, like he had a really good stat line with
crazy.
Because almost 0 turnovers, I think.
Zero turnovers. Like he's playing at like God level basketball.
He's been doing it. He's been doing it. Yeah,
it's God level. 0 turnovers,
40 points, 15 of 22. By the way,
yeah, that's insane.
That's crazy. 7 rebounds, 13 assists, which again, either 26 points or more.
Yep.
2 steals and a block.
But V-Dog said
everything.
He said, Joe, that's how everyone plays today, not just us. Yeah, but we're not good at it.
There's levels to this.
I'm tired of that.
There's levels.
I'm encouraged about the Minnesota squad because they're not playing that type of way. They got 2 bigs with a guard, with a point guard, and so they're playing their style of basketball. And I mean, I was impressed that they did improve and become one of the top teams in the West. I mean, in the West, that's not easy to do. So to me, I'm encouraged. That's why I'm like, I want Zach Edey. I don't care. I'd rather just start over and build the team and play the offense that we want to play. Now, do we have to figure out the defensive side of things? Of course, but you have to have defense, period, in terms of playing basketball. It's not always just about jacking threes up all day.
I do think that we're going to come into an era where we need more coaches that are connected to the younger generation while still embracing the purity of basketball, which is why I think like someone like JJ Redick would be a good coach because he has analyzed the game. Like we see him analyze the game every day, and we respect him as a basketball mind. His peers respect him as a basketball mind, and because he's dominant in that space and he's visible.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
No, you gonna try to do that?
Actually, because you messed up, that probably means he's right. You can't do it now. You can't do it.
Right.
So like Redick,
I actually agree with that.
I don't know. We don't. How do you know that?
Because
how do you know?
Here's the thing. It may not. One, it depends on what team he goes to.
What type of staff is he bringing in? What type of scheme is he going to run?
I think he's smart enough to know that he can't do it on his own, and he's not going to be cocky enough to not have. Like the one thing I credit Steve Kerr about is he got the best people on that staff.
Well, my point is
like
that
Mike Brown was on his staff.
What is a head coach's? I mean, the head coach's job is kind of like a CEO. You have a vision of what your team's supposed to be, and can you get your people in place? There's offensive staff, defensive staff, all that type of stuff. I don't know. Like we don't know. That's what we talked about last time. Does JJ Redick really have it? Because he had, of course. No, you know why? They're talking about him with the Lakers, right? You know who supposedly is also like behind the scenes supposed to help assist?
LeBron.
Who? Coach K.
Oh, Mike. Really?
But look at that though.
Right, but my point is no, it's Coach K as a puppeteer of running the team. Now, will he learn from that? Great.
Yeah.
But it helps to have one of the greatest coaches of all time behind your back because it's like
for sure.
I don't know.
For sure. All it does is you just want people who understand the game and understand these players' perspective well enough that they can bridge that gap and put a good product on the floor.
You know,
And I think he's one of the few people who in media can.
What I see is it's LeBron getting his friend to come and coach versus really just actually being a coach. That's my issue. You know, they're doing a podcast together, like a little bit. To me, it feels a little bit of like a collusion kind of thing, where it's like I'm having my, you know, like it's because a coach's job is to be. My job is not really to be your friend. It's to win games. My job is to assess. My job is to see where your weaknesses are. Can I coach you to do something better if I see an issue? That's what coaching is, right? You clearly you have to have talent to play, but I see something that we can fix this, or I need you guys to do this. I can't, if you're my friend, I can't effectively cuss you out to do the job I need you to do because, you know, we just had dinner the other night. Oh, see you on the podcast next week. Like, it's hard.
No, I disagree with that.
You do?
I did. No, like it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
No, I'm someone who would have loved to have a coach like that.
Well,
like,
there's the players
like,
coach.
We're cool enough for us to like have dinner, but like if I'm messing up, I want you to tell me I'm messing up.
You can't do.
I want you like to.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to do it.
But there has to be a level of separation to a degree. If a player's coach means this is a player's coach that obviously would relate to players, right?
For sure.
But if I am at a point where I'm hiring my buddy or a good friend of mine to coach, you're not either you're not going to respect him all the way when he needs to really get into you, or the other way around. You can't really effectively coach because that's my buddy and I'm afraid of the consequences of that. The friendship,
I can
the
see
relationships.
it happen both ways. I mean, you got to understand, LeBron is already being coached by one of his peers anyway. He played with Darvin Ham.
Right. And I didn't think it was going to work.
He played against Ty Lue.
Yeah.
Like these are people he's already like.
Well, I don't know if he played against Ty Lue is one thing, but when you're doing podcasts, like that's not. We've developed friendship as it started off as playing cards, right?
Yeah.
And then it snowballs to other things where we go out, we hang out. You've been to my wedding
with Joe. Now I know how you really feel.
What? I can't fire you is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can. Hey, it's like, hey, this is what we need. This is where we try to go. We need to do it. I don't mind that at all. Hey, but I will say this.
I said it's just harder to do.
I know. I understand. I get you. I'm just messing with you. Like I totally get the respect it. But at the end of the day, listen, NBA is going to be in good hands whether you like it or not. Like if you're a fan of this style of basketball or not, the NBA is still going to move forward, and for better or for worse, you're going to have more people like that.
Did anybody touch on NBC taking over and TNT going away?
Well, we talked about that was one of the worst. I think we mentioned on Monday.
We mentioned it, but it sounds like it's a deal.
Yeah. Even Chuck said, he fears that's going to happen.
I wanted to wait to get some official stats on it because I like to see what the full contract is going to be, who they're going to replace people with and stuff like that. Because it's truly an end of an era, and there's going to be some kid in here who's like, oh, well, I don't like Chuck anyway. Shut up.
Retire. Yeah.
Before we get up out of here, though, we want to talk about a couple things. One, I'm going to we got to talk about the Chi-Town Barbie. Angel Reese. Angel Reese had a day.
She had a decent game. It was a decent game.
It was okay.
It was a good debut. It was a good debut. You give it a C plus. I mean, they lost also. It was actually a really, really good game up until the last maybe 4 minutes. I believe they were up 4 with like 4.5 minutes to go in the fourth. But there's a chick on the other squad. I want to get her name right because she is a beast. It's going Arike Ogunbowale. She has 25 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. She is an efficient and effective scorer from all over the court. She's been in the league for a while. I think the Wings went on like a 12-4 run in the game, and so they eventually won by 8, 79-87. The game itself was really good, but just to kind of go into stats for the Chi-Town Barbie, she had 12 points, 1 assist, I believe 1 steal, 1 block, and 8 rebounds in 12 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist in 26 minutes, 1 steal, 1 block. And so decent game. There was a few things she could have done better. She didn't have a good day at the free throw line. She could have scored more points with that. I do want to kind of critique her a little bit because I feel like the way she scores, I won't use the word fluke, but if you look at the way she scores right now, it's a little unorthodox. Like I think she needs to be a little bit more structured in the way she lays up the ball, the way she attacks. She also needs to add like a mid-range game. I think that's going to make her even more potent or good on offense if she kind of digs on that. But overall, her game is really good. Defense, you ain't got to worry about that. Rebounding, you ain't got to worry about that. She brings that in droves to the table. So, I'm excited to see what the Chicago Sky do, even though they started out with an L yesterday.
I hate that was it Barbosa, right?
Oh, yeah, Camila Cardoso.
I hate
that sucks.
Because I would have loved to see
what that
that's
looks like.
A presence, right?
What
there.
that looks like. She's 6'7".
And if you're, from what she did in college, was it South Carolina?
South Carolina, they won.
The way they
season.
were running through the season,
perfect season.
If they I wonder if they adopt some of that, because you have basically two a center and a power forward like that.
Giants. As far as the women's league, yes, you have some giants in the paint, which is what they kind of.
By the way,
they
say, you can tell who's a real WNBA fan. Right
no, man, I'm just trying. We got to diversify, baby. We got to diversify. I know this man knows his basketball too. He just didn't watch the game. That's all.
No, I didn't watch that initial game.
But we have talent in Chicago. It's exciting.
It is.
We want a winner.
Now,
so whether it's the Fire, the Blackhawks.
Now I don't know if we ever gonna talk about soccer, but hey, maybe that's the day we talk about the Fire.
Talk about it here. I'm just saying we want to win. We respect winners. We want a winner.
The Fires have actually won something.
I don't know.
Back in the day, they were cold. I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day, I did know a few names.
No, I'm just kidding. The Wolves. Now that's.
Waiting for that.
Credits.
Hey, listen, let's wait for that one. No, I did get a chance to see obviously highlights of it. Here's the one thing I do when I can't watch a full game. I always look at how many minutes did this player play.
Yeah.
How close to their natural average are they? So like last season in college, she averaged about 18 points a game. If you give her that those free throws she should have made, should have been close to 18. Should have been like 16 points, 8 rebounds. And if you look at her last year in LSU, what did she score? 18 points a game. I think it was 10 rebounds. I just had this up here somewhere.
Yeah, she was a beast of double doubles. I believe she led the college in double doubles. I believe.
Yeah, so she double machine. I'm not expecting her for the position she plays to come out and be like she's not a super imposing woman.
Yeah,
right. Like I expect her to be more finesse when it comes to her position. I don't think she's not going to be like Caitlin Clark taking 7 threes a game. Caitlin Clark with 10 turnovers still had 20 points.
Shooting is not her go-to. She needs to work on her shooting.
Yeah, like it's crazy, but Caitlin Clark also had 10 turnovers. So like it's not really comparison. It's 10 turnovers is a lot for your first game. I ain't
doubled the wrong way.
Hey, listen, 10, but she hit 4 threes and she was 5 of 15 from the field.
I mean, but she probably was dealing with that's probably jitters.
It also started out with her getting 2 ticky-tack fouls, so that it was a bad start. She had to kind of like recover from the start.
And you've got to realize too. I mean, that's a lot of pressure on her. They're looking at her to be the ambassador of the league coming in as a rookie. So. She's probably got a lot on it. I mean, she does.
Connecticut told her you ain't easy.
These 2 women right here are carrying the league.
Hey,
they really are.
Yeah, new age. Yeah.
It's amazing that they don't have to fly coach anymore.
They improved. Huh?
They all of a sudden they found $55 million for them to fly charter planes.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, why? Because we have all this national attention and stuff like that. So it's good for basketball. It's good for them. So we support it. You all should too. Hey, listen, it's going to be good. And by the way, the FIFA are playing now. So Caitlin Clark is on the floor now, getting busy. I don't know what her stat line is. Let's see what it is.
Okay.
Her stat line right now, they're getting cooked right now. It's 42-27.
Yeah, Lord.
Yeah, they're getting cooked right now. It's only second quarter. They'll be all right.
They're a rebuilding team. They're not a team that's ready for the playoffs. But I mean, if you just want to watch Caitlin, check her out.
I mean, she got 3 assists, 3. Yeah, she might have she might end up with 20 points in a blowout. But all in all, fellas, interesting day. Wasn't a whole lot shaking. I mean, it was some things that we ain't gonna string this on long. It was a good day, right?
It was a good day.
It was a good day.
Today was a good day.
Hey, ESPN is recognizing us for who we are. The bosses that we are for the offense, by the way. Not our defense. Check that out. So shout out to you all, man. As always, like, share, subscribe. You all know what to do. For my man JC in the hot seat, in the place to be, right next to me,
appreciate y'all
doing what we do. For the man, myth, the legend himself, Joe Holt. super producer Joe Holt. Hold on, why did he move away so fast? Like that's how he shakes hands too. Look at that. Looks like, give me power. Anyway, listen, you'll see us tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
4P Kid. I'm the super producer, Joe Holt. Signing off. Take care, Breeze Nation. Love you guys.
Oh, you gonna do the